The Wolverine was directed by James Mangold and starred Hugh Jackman, Hiroyuki Sanada, Teo Akamoto, Rila Fukushima, Will Young Lee, Haruhiko Yamanouchi, Svetlana Kochenkova, and Famke Janssen. This movie was a semi-sequel to X-Men The Last Stand, as we see Wolverine dealing with the effects of him killing Jean Grey at the end of that movie. Wolverine is tortured by Jean Grey's memory, but also at the same time, he has to deal with one of his old friends is dying and has a strange request of Wolverine, which he must go all the way over to Japan to deal with. But while he's over there, he starts to get wrapped up in this strange world of ninjas and corruption and deception, and faces his first true battle of himself, of his morality, of if he's really a monster or if he's just going to be a normal man. What life will Wolverine eventually lead? I just love the premise of this movie, to take Wolverine and throw him into Japan, into this strange new world that he's never dealt with, that we've never seen for the X-Men movies. We've only seen them just deal with American problems. Now we get to see him in this very different world with a lot more different characters to play with, a different class of villains to go up against, not just ninjas, but also there's the Yakuza. It's really cool stuff to start out. I remember watching this for the first time and seeing this and thinking, okay, I'm totally on board. And the Wolverine is just, it holds you on board for so much of it. The story of this movie is so well realized. It has this great, grounded, very realistic tone without being too dark and gritty. It has its little fun moments, such as Wolverine getting cleaned up by a bunch of Japanese maids because he's all old and scraggly and he looks all hermity and big beard and long gross hair and all that kind of stuff. We never had a movie look so deep within Wolverine like we see in The Wolverine. We've seen him deal with his amnesia in the first two X-Men movies and whatever the hell he was doing in X-Men Last Stand, I don't know, and we don't even talk about X-Men Origins. The Wolverine was a great study of who Wolverine really is. What is the difference between Logan and Wolverine? Hugh Jackman, I mean, he's great. He can never not be great. Even if he's just shoved into an X-Men movie as a small little cameo, he's still great. And he really delivers a great performance in Wolverine, because he doesn't just have the awesome Wolverine action where he's yelling and chopping people up, but he can really quiet down and give some great depth to this character. Rila Fukushima as Yukio, oh my god, I can't believe that this was actually her first Western film role. She had only done small little Japanese stuff and she was a model before that, and this was her first big role, and she was great. She was so fun, she had great action sequences, she really dived headlong into this character and it really showed. Teo Akamoto, some of her line deliveries were very flat. I think that parts of her character in the writing were a little rushed, where she just randomly has a romantic thing with Wolverine for some reason, and that's a little weird, but she does have some really strong moments. That's really appreciated. Hiroyuki Sanada just plays this really cool, conniving, sniveling villain in Shingen Yashida. Will Young Lee is a little underused as, I actually can't even remember his name. He's basically Japanese Hawkeye. He just has a bow and arrow and it's okay, whatever. So Svetlana Kochenkova she's a terrible villain, but I just really liked the main two performances of Hugh Jackman and Rila Fukushima. They had great chemistry with each other, and their scenes just really stood out as the strongest of the movie, whether they be having this nice little comic interplay.
Get in the tub. Get in the tub.
Or they be having these awesome action sequences. It really works. And going along from that, the action sequences in this movie are just fantastic. They took a story of Wolverine, sending them in Japan, and didn't just have a normal Wolverine story that just happened to be in Japan. No, they used well the setting of Japan, because they have Wolverine finding a bunch of Yakuza gang members on top of a bullet train, and it's so well filmed. It is such a great, riveting, energizing sequence, seeing Wolverine just duck and dive and jump and across all these different obstacles and slash and hack, and oh, it's great stuff. The fact that there's no music just hits you just a little bit harder. And then there's also the battle between Wolverine and Shingen, where Shingen's armed with samurai swords and Wolverine just has his claws. Oh my god, it's such a good fight. It's so gritty and so just raw. and passionate. It's just two guys. It's not Wolverine facing a bunch of other enemies, which is still pretty cool to see. It's just Wolverine and another guy. And the other guy is pretty good. He has some skills. But Wolverine, I mean, come on, he's Wolverine. And it's, every moment in that fight is so perfect. Whether it be from the multiple times that Shingen stabs Wolverine, or just Wolverine coming up, you see Hugh Jackman in his like fully ripped tone. I remember seeing this movie for the first time and seeing Wolverine just stand up, muscles and everything, and I thought, holy crap, Hugh Jackman is going for it. And then there's the most perfect moment where Shingen asks him,
"What kind of monster are you?"
And Logan answers,
"The Wolverine."
it's perfect. It really is perfect. And the Wolverine is filled with such really, really good moments for about 2/3 of it. Because the reason why I don't like it as much as the other X-Men movies is because of the third act. This third act just takes all of this really cool, grounded, realistic story, this story that isn't just about Wolverine fighting ninjas and Yakuza and trying to protect this woman from her father and all this sort of stuff, and also these tones of Wolverine dealing with if he's really a good man or if he's just an animal, what is the difference between Logan and Wolverine, being haunted by Jean Grey, all of this really cool stuff just kind of gets sidetracked for big action in... It's just completely unnecessary. It goes completely against the rest of this movie. To see Wolverine fighting some big Iron Man ripoff, which they want to call the Silver Samurai, is just... it's really poor. It's a really poor job. It screams of studio interference where Fox probably looked at this movie and thought, oh, you know, we need more Wolverine action. No, they could have gone in any other route. We have seen the filmmakers make a really strong movie for 2/3 of it, and they could have delivered for the third act, but they didn't. Someone didn't. Someone said something, and what we get is a very cartoonish third act that just, it really feels like X-Men Origins Wolverine, and I don't want it to. The story part elements just don't make any sense with the rest of it. Why would Yashida want to fake his own death and then be in a suit and then try and lure Wolverine there? Why didn't he just knock him out and do what he needed to do? It's really confusing. It's very sad. It's a very unfortunate thing. But The Wolverine is a good movie. It is, for the most of it, a pretty solid movie. Maybe I'm a little bit too nitpicky about that third act. Maybe some other people think, okay, that was fine. It is a comic book movie. But for the 2/3 of The Wolverine, it really showed something different. Showed something so true to the Wolverine character as this very dark figure. There's a lot of torment within him. Whether it be from the first 15 minutes, seeing Wolverine as a hermit. I love that. That's fantastic. Love seeing that. And then seeing Wolverine fighting Yakuza and ninjas, but also in his quieter moments, dealing with coming back to Nagasaki and remembering all these things. There's so much good stuff in the first 2/3 of The Wolverine that I think just elevates this movie aside from its dumb third act. It's a great audition for director James Mangold to show that he does have an idea of where Wolverine can go, how great Wolverine can really be. And hopefully we get that with Logan. The Wolverine is a great stepping stone to that. It brought Wolverine back from the darkness of X-Men Origins, and he brought Hugh Jackman straight back into what Wolverine really is, and that led him into X-Men Days of Future Past, and I'm thankful for that. The Wolverine, it's a good movie, and I have to say that it is worth the ticket and the DVD. So The Wolverine, have you seen it? Please tell me what you think about it in the comments below. Stay tuned for my Logan review, it's coming, I'm so excited. Yes! Yes! There's going to be videos linked down here, or maybe one over there. For more Mr. Movies, please press my little face right there. Thanks for watching.